Hi, I'm Tom Connick here with Enemy at Mad Cool Festival, and we're here with Perfume Genius.
Yeah.
How's it going? How's
Good.
your day been?
Huh?
How's your day been?
Good, yeah. It's been just now really starting. I was just at the hotel room all day.
Have
So,
you
now
haven't had
suddenly
much
here.
of a chance to get out there and see anything then?
Well, we've been here in Madrid for the last 4 days, so I spent the first 3 days just running around, and so
Yeah.
tried to chill out today.
What's been your highlight of your Madrid trip then?
Sorry, I don't know why I took that question so seriously. I don't know, man. We just walked around. I ate a bunch of food. I did a lot of eating. I had some really good ice cream, lemon ice cream. I'm blushing. I don't know why. I felt like on the spot about I felt like I really needed to have a good answer to that question. But I'll be more casual about the rest of them.
And yeah, I mean, it's been a year since No Shape came out. I mean, how have you found the reaction to that been? How's it been touring that?
It's been really good. And this is kind of like the end of it, wrapping up a little bit, you know. We just have today and tomorrow in Lisbon. But last summer, you know, we had a whole festival tour. I don't think I'll really know until I have a decent amount of time off to reflect.
Right, yeah.
I've just been doing it and so focused on making sure I do a good job that I haven't really paid attention to whether I did or not.
You're gonna get home and be very, very self-critical.
Yeah.
Pick it all
Oh,
apart.
I think that's the story of tour for sure. I think, well, hopefully I'm not alone in it, but when you're done, you kind of get home and kind of retroactively panic and think about all the stuff you just did that you powered through.
Yeah. And obviously you're sober now. I mean, how's that affected the live performance? I mean,
Well, every show I've ever played has been sober. I've been sober for 9 years, almost 10 years, which is the same amount I've been making music. I didn't write any music until I was sober. I mean, I guess I went out and did a little, and I was bad in between the first and second record. But every single show I've ever played has been sober, so I don't know what to compare it to. I imagine performing would be, I think you would think you're really good more often when you're drunk. So, there's nowhere to go when you're sober. It's not the same for everybody that does drugs and drinks. Everybody does it differently, but for me, when I was drinking, there's something removed, this this feeling that something was wrong, which I always had, was gone when I drank, and now it's just I just have it all the time.
yeah.
Just have it every day.
Is it interesting playing at festivals when obviously a lot of the punters and the people you're playing to are probably in various states of inebriation?
Well, that's the thing, is I support, if people can do it in a healthy way, I support it, and if they're not doing it, angry. My bandmates are not alcoholics, so they should be drinking. You know what I mean? They don't, when they were single and I wasn't, they should be having sex. Yeah. They should be making love to people. And if they're not doing that, I would get angry. So, and people, I like festivals too because there's always a stoned guy or a drunk guy that somehow ended up at my set and doesn't have any idea who it is and is looking around, trying to dance or looking around is this okay? He's is this cool? And then he's okay. You can see this evolution of him kind of relaxing a little bit, and then he gets a little looser.
Just trying to get his head around it a little bit. And yeah, obviously, I mean, back at home today, we've got huge anti-Trump protests going on.
Yeah.
Which is obviously something that you yourself have been very vocal about as well. I mean, do you think it's important for people to get out and onto the streets like that?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody has their own way of doing it, but you should be doing something, I think people should be more upset about things if it doesn't directly affect them, You should be on the streets about everything, whether it pertains to your specific experience or not. I sometimes think that all the political things I do are so personal, I get kind of guilty about that. But I'm better at that. Yeah. I feel like it's been effective and helpful, so I try not to get too mad about my wokeness quotient, my level,
Your percentage of woke.
Yeah. But everybody's got to do it their own way. I mean, it's so horrible. There's no real end to it. So if you need to check out, you should check out. But there has to be a flip to that too. I think you should balance it for sure.
Yeah, and it feels like, you know, with the kind of political climate the way it is, it's kind of galvanized a lot of young people recently. It seems like more and more young people are getting into
Yeah,
this.
because that's the world they're gonna have, you know. It's so fucked up.
It's so bleak.
It really is so horrible.
And we had...
And there's a version of it everywhere. Everywhere I go, there's a Trump. I mean, he's always been there. I've known that for a long time, you know. I mean, if you go, if you just go into America just a little bit, like beyond the cities, he's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
But he's like the big city version of that. He's like the big city, like rich racist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the
racist with money.
Yeah.
And obviously we also had Pride in London recently, and there's been a lot of discussion around that with sort of the TERF, the idea of TERFdom, basically.
Yeah.
How do you kind of see that conversation moving forward? It seems to be something that's really kind of dividing the queer community quite a lot.
I mean, being like, you know, gay doesn't save you from being a misogynist or being sexist or being a fucking awful person. And people think that, I don't know, especially a lot of white gay men think it just gives them a free pass to just be a fucking asshole. Can you cuss on this television program? Huh?
Yeah, it's fine. We'll bleep it out.
I don't know. You can't support the progress of like one group and not another one. That's how I feel. And if you are acting like that, then my music isn't for you. I'm not for you, you know, and nobody else should be for you either.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, have you started thinking about another record? I mean, like I said, it's been a year.
I mean, I've been thinking about it, but I'm always wrong. I don't really know until I get into my room and start writing what it's going to be like. And it's usually very different. Well, what usually happens, I try to make the music that's what I want it to be, and then it ends up being something different, and it takes a few months.
Yeah, bit of a like long process then.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but then it's really cool.
Yeah. Get there in the end.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's great. That's everything. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.